Well, guys, we are almost back to normal. Picked up my old lady today, brought her home from the hospital. She's inside resting. She can walk around. She's watching some TV, catching up on the news, and everything went well with the surgery. So, she's gonna be okay. And me, in turn, I'm gonna do a little celebration. Having a drink, smoking a Golden Nicaragua cigar. Which, by the way, all these cigars that they come from different parts of Central America and the Caribbean, they're Cuban seed. I read a story a long time ago that in 1964, after the failure of the Bay of Pigs fiasco, um, the previous owners of all the tobacco plantations, they did a raid on their own warehouses late at night. They come in with a speedboat. I don't know if they were coming from the Central America or they came from Florida and Miami. I'm not sure about that, but they came in and they knew where to go. It's their place. They owned the place, but they got confiscated. They got kicked out. So they knew where to go, and they picked up sacks and sacks of seeds. And the cigar seed, it's not like a fruit seed. It's not. It looks like coffee grinds. Just a little handful. You can do a big pallet and just spread it, you know, and the tobacco plant starts growing. So they picked up bags and bags and bags, and that set them up so they can start their own businesses in Santo Domingo. That's also Cuban owned. Nicaragua, uh, some places like Costa Rica, um, Honduras, where the climate was perfect for the plant. It needs humidity, it needs rain, and it needs some shade. Not a lot of shade, but some shade. And they produce excellent cigars. And the cigar plant is being manipulated by man for centuries. And they've been mixing with this and with that. And they come up with this mix that it comes out with very good product. And then they select the leaves from this particular plant, and then another from this other region, different climate, different levels of humidity or water. Then they mix them together. I know this tobacco maker. He still has his shop here in LA, and I asked him what makes the Cuban cigar great. He says, well, he says they take from three areas in the island. They go from the west, the center, and the east. And he says they take the leaf for the wrapper from over here, they take the filler from over there, and they take what he called the stick. I'm not a cigar maker. I don't know what the stick is. I think it might be the gut, the center. I'm not sure, but the leaf you use for the wrapping is not the same type of leaf you use for the mix inside. So there's an art to this, and they've been perfecting this art for years, years and years. So they knew what they were doing. They got the seeds that they needed for this and that, everything else. And since you have different regions with different minerals, gives the plant a different flavor, a different aroma, Not too different from each other, but there is a little bit of, you know, some people call it almond, some people call it chocolatey. The Arturo Fuentes are pure cigars, and that's why they're so expensive. I mean, I get a quality Arturo Fuente, you're looking at $60, $100, 150 for one cigar. I, I'm not, you know, can't pay that. So that's what's going on with that. Now, I got some news about my final decision on the future rifle that I was kind of shopping around. I can't believe how discombobulated everything is. You can't find anything. I called different stores. They have this on their website, and I call them up. It doesn't say out of stock or anything, so I call them up. Say, yeah, I'm looking for this gun. I give them the description in this caliber. Let me look it up. They look it up. No, we don't have it. Okay, what about this other one? Different brand. No, we don't have that either. So I'm gonna see during. I can't leave her alone now because I got my phone here. She needs to get up. I have to go and help her. She needs to sit down. I gotta go and help her. So I can't do anything right now. When she can get around on her own, she can go to the bathroom and go, get dressed and everything. Right now she can't, but when she can do that, then I'm gonna take off and I'm gonna drive a 40-minute drive to Bass Pro because I'm not even gonna bother calling. I just want to see by myself. I don't want to see the ammo cost and everything. So being that everything is so difficult now, and it's going to be difficult for a while, and it's been a week now, and I haven't heard anything from my buddy that has a store. He says he's going to find out, but he just did knee surgery, so he's going to be out for a while. But he can use the phone. He said he's going to try to call. Okay, so I started thinking, something's telling me, don't buy a gun, man. You already have a 7 mag. So I started reassessing my criteria on why I needed a light gun. And I started thinking, well, why is it that I want a light gun? To go backpacking in. Well, don't I already have a 308 that is very light? I like that gun. Very accurate, too. I'm not going to be making those long 600-yard range shots or anything. And I started thinking, you know what? Maybe that heavy gun, that BAR, which shoots great, doesn't kick. It's got a stabilizer and everything. Maybe I should keep it as a truck gun instead of a backpacking gun. So I'm driving around the trails. Sometimes you get into the situation that you're on a road here and there's a drop and there's a mountain on the other side. You might see a deer on the other side. Well, that gun can reach and touch it. That gun can do it. So I don't have to go climb a mountain with the gun. All I have to do is get off the truck, move off a little bit, try to get a little closer, maybe go in 100 or so yards, and then take the shot. That gun is not a walking for miles gun. It's a sit down in a blind or on the edge of a drop or in a canyon, whatever the situation that you need a long shot. And I see a lot of people shoot deer like that. They're sitting there, and then this deer pops up on the other side, doesn't know that he's being watched. And the guy sitting there with binoculars, and he goes, he ranges it. He goes 438 yards, whatever it is. And the guy whips out the 7 mag, and boom, he pops him and gets him. And then he goes down and get it. Once he's dead, you don't need to carry the gun. If you have a side gun, if he's wounded, he gets up, you can just put it to his head. But now the new BAR with a scope. I saw a video. They say, because this is something you gotta verify. Just don't go with what they say in the video, because I already got gypped on a tent that they told me it was gonna be 5 pounds, and it was more than 5 pounds. It's five, almost 6 pounds. 6 pounds. So that's why I used to walk at the store with this, with the scale, and I said, here, put this gun on the scale. Let's see what it weighs, because I'm not gonna go by the salesman. If the gun is 7 pounds, they're gonna tell you, oh, it's 6'8", 6'5", you know. And you're counting on ounces. When you do backpacking, you're counting on ounces. You have to have an accurate count of what you're getting, because a 10-pound gun is gonna kill you. Now, hang on a sec. Okay, these are my loads for 270 and 7 mag, etc. I have here powder is 4350 IMR, 60 grams of powder. Bullet is 145 grain bolt tail. Muzzle velocity is 3,070 pounds. If I load it up with 64, you know it's going to kick more. And then I have a load here for 160 with 78.28, but I neglected to put the muzzle velocity. So what I have to do also is that I could get, okay, here's another load for the same rifle, 4350 powder, 55 grains instead of 60, with 160 spear bullet, 160 grain. Bullet coefficient, it's 502, and it has a flat base. Muzzle velocity is 2750 to 2800. So what I could do is, I think I marked the boxes that I have. And then I have another load here with a different grain bullet and a different velocity. What I could do is I could get a box, and well, if it says it on it, you know. I was thinking, well, if I do get a light rifle, then I could minimize the load. Doesn't have to be 3,000 feet per second. Make it down, bring it down to 25, 26, maybe 28. That'll minimize on the kick. A lot of people that bought the Tika, they changed the pad. They put a lens saver on it. I think it's called lens saver pad, and that minimizes the kick. Because if you're loading a Magnum round packed to the top with hot powder, you are going to get kicked big time. So that's a different way of handling it, handling the kick. Now, when you go hunting, you're only going to shoot once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. But when you go to the range, that's where you're going to start feeling that kick. Now, I don't shoot like these people that take this rest and it has a pocket for the stock to go in, and they just lean against the pocket, and then the gun is resting on a vise, and they just adjust it, and then they pull the trigger and they hardly get the kick. I don't shoot like that. I have a rest for the front so I can adjust the height, but I put all the kick in my shoulder. I got to get accustomed to that. So I'm going to lay off right now. I'm still going to wait for my friend to come and see what are the prices. But I'm gonna kind of lay off on that purchase for now. I think I'm gonna stick with the 7 mag. That before, I'm gonna keep it in the truck. I'm driving around. If I'm by a canyon, or because in Wyoming we used to see deer far off, you know. So you try to approach them, and then you get to a point, that you can't approach anymore because they're gonna spot you and they're gonna spook and they're gonna bounce and take off. So that's when you bring out the 7 mag. And he says, okay, I can hit him from this distance. I'm not gonna try a long shot with a 308 with an 18-inch barrel. Even though that little Ruger, man, that thing is on the money. But it's on the money at 100 yards. I've shot the plates, and yeah, I hit the plates, but it's not exactly telling me where I'm hitting the plates. If I hit it exactly where I was aiming, and it's not like on paper, you only can go 200 yards. I haven't done the 200 yards with the Ruger 308, but with the 7 mag, and let me tell you how this occurred. I have bought a used Remington stainless steel that was blued 7 millimeter Magnum from this guy that he did a job to this old man, Mexican guy friend of mine. He called me up. Hey Ray, because they know that I go hunting. He go, Ray, I got this gun that this guy gave me. I said, he gave you a gun? He goes, yeah, he's very old. He doesn't use it anymore. I did a job for him. We did a little swapping. He paid me less money plus the gun. And I say, okay, well, what is it? He goes, I don't know, because he doesn't know nothing about guns. I say, okay, well, bring it down the office and let's check it out. So he brings it out, and I'm going, wow, it's a Remington, with the nice checkered stock and the whole thing. A little beat up, but it was still very good. I worked the action. Everything was working fine. I cleaned it up. It was a little gummy inside because I think he had it rested against the wall, and it had a little bit of humidity in the barrel, so the blue was kind of a little blotchy. But it said on the barrel, it said stainless. So I said, why would you want a stainless barrel and then blue it? Put blue on it. So I gave the guy $100. He was happy for it. So I took it to the range. I went and bought some ammo and took it to the range. And at the beginning, it was shooting good. And then after 4 or 5 shots, I was all over the place. And I couldn't figure out why. Back then, I didn't really know about barrel waving, movement because of the vibration going through. And it was a thin barrel. I could call it a pencil barrel. It wasn't those thick, regular Remington barrels you see on old gun. This gun had a thinner than usual, so it will be classified as a pencil barrel. So I'm shooting and I'm missing and I'm hitting dirt already, and this is at 200 yards. Going, damn, man, I was shooting good at the beginning. I didn't know about letting it cool. So next to me, there's this guy shooting a BAR, and I'm looking at his target, and he's hitting it right there. Boom, boom. And I'm going, damn. So I'm looking at it, and I said, hey, is that a 7 mag? He goes, yeah. He goes, man, you're shooting pretty good. He goes, yeah, it shoots pretty good. So I didn't say anything more. I kept shooting and I kept missing. It was incredible how far off I was. I wasn't even hitting paper, and the paper was big. So I turned around again and said, hey, do you mind if I take a shot? He goes, you want to try it? I go, yeah, if you don't mind. So he gives me the rifle. And I'm shooting on a wooden table. No pillow, very, very Spartan, nothing. I was leaning on splinters. Put it on my shoulder, put my elbow to the wood, Aim, boom. The X is here. The bullet came right on top of the X, right between the two posts, right there. Wow, nice. Okay, thank you. And I give it back to him. And I'm going, that was a chiripa. That was like, that's what we call a lucky shot. You know, you got, that was a lucky shot. So that kind of bugged me. I said, so I turned around and I said, do you mind if I have another shot? He goes, sure. So I said, don't, I'm going to put my own ammo. So I grabbed my ammo and drop it in, closed it, take another shot, boom. I'm telling you, this is basically, it's like offhand. I'm just leaning against this damn wood table. And the X, I hit it right on the side of the X. About 3/4 of an inch, 5/8, I would say 5/8 of an inch from the previous bullet at 200 yards. I said, wow. That wasn't a chiripa. That was a real deal. I said, thank you very much. I gave him the gun. I packed up all my things, ran out, left the range, and went straight down to this local uh, gun store. And I said, do you have a BAR and a 7 mag? The kid turns around. He goes, yeah, I got one right here. Hands it to me. I'm looking at the same identical gun. And I said, are you kidding me? Wow, they have one. And I said, well, what are you asking for? He told me the price. And back then, that was a lot of money for me. And I really wanted the gun. I didn't even notice how heavy it was. I was so excited because it was such an accurate gun at 200 yards that it just blew my mind. And I said, I'll take it. But I'm going to put a deposit. Can I put on a layaway? How long is it? And he goes, 30 days. And I said, do you think you can give me a little bit better price? Because he goes, well, let me talk to the manager. And I kind of knew the kid because he would see me before there. I was always on the weekends. I would go visit and go look at different guns. Kind of as a pastime thing. I wasn't buying nothing. And he talked to the manager, and they discounted. I don't remember how much, but they did give me a deal. And I bought it. I bought that gun with the purpose of going to a place I know in Utah where the bucks were jumping like rabbits, but they were jumping far. You needed a long range gun. Never went back there. I even forgot how to get to the damn place. I know more or less where it is, but I just couldn't remember the dirt road that go back in there. Because I went with a group of people. I was following people. So you know how it is. At night you're following somebody. Daybreak comes and then you don't know where the hell you are. You're surrounded by hills and mountains. But the bucks were good. They were big bucks. So I wanted to go back there with that gun. I never did. And ever since, I haven't really, I think I've hunted with the gun, with that particular gun, maybe 2-3 times because of the weight. But as far as accuracy and smoothness in the action, the performance of the whole gun, it's a very good rifle. It's a very good rifle. That's what I told this guy on the phone. I said, listen, this is not a regular gun, bro. This is a quality gun. This is a Brownie quality gun. You're going to be amazed, surprised, and glad that you bought this rifle if you buy it. That's the reason I bought it. And let me tell you, man. So now that gun, I saw it online. Some guy has one. It said it was 8.5 with a scope. So what they did is that to eliminate the weight, because they noticed that people were complaining, nobody wants to walk around with a 10-pound rifle. That they made the body in aluminum, lightweight materials, and they managed to reduce 2 pounds from that gun. I think the barrel might be a little. This barrel is 24 inches, so I think the barrel might be 22. I'm not sure. So you reduce some of it there. Um, and I don't know about the stock. I know that the stock is hollow because to remove the rear of the stock there, you have to put in this long screwdriver to get to the bolt and to screw and pop it out. So I said, okay, well let me see if I can change the wood. I saw a video of a guy changing the wood on a BAR, but it turns out that it came out heavier than the wood he was removing. And it had green, and I'm not too crazy about that type of finish. It had a green finish with lines. It looked like I don't know what kind of wood it was. So it didn't make it any lighter because the weight is not in the wood; it's in the iron. The system, the whole thing is very heavy duty to take the pounding from the 7 mag. It has locking bolts, so it's got grooves on the bolt. When it goes in, it turns, and it locks it solid like a bolt. That thing explodes, opens up, ejects the casing, puts another one back in. Very smooth, very smooth. So I could keep it with that in mind, to keep it in the vehicle if I'm driving around, because I got some friends that do that. These guys are old already. One guy had like, Jesus Christ, he had like 3 heart attacks, and he still hunts. He still hunts. But he hunts from the vehicle. He can't do a lot of walking. So they drive around, they see an animal, and then his buddy is younger. So if they see an animal, the buddy will go and get it. But he can shoot it. He practically shoots it from the road because of the heart attacks he's had. But he loves hunting. In fact, one time they were hunting, they were sitting in the truck and they were just glossing, and then he says, I don't feel good. And turns out that he was having a heart attack. They rushed him to the hospital, I think with a helicopter. And he made it. So, and all these guys are shooting 7 mag. Everybody. I'm the only one with a puny 308. But I do something that they don't. They don't go into the wilderness and they hike in with a backpack, which is my love. But this last trip, I said I wasn't going to go anymore. But I don't think I'm gonna. I have a slide tray that I can take the gear. The thing is that the area is it's got high brush. It's gonna be impossible for me to drag this thing up and over. It's getting stuck and caught. It's a headache. There's gotta be a better way of doing it. But nobody does it. The people that go hunting in there, they go back to their camp in the middle. They're not up in the mountain like I am, because it's not comfortable. They go with regular tents. They have a regular big Coleman stuff. They go with the big stuff and it's heavy. To go backpacking, you're going to be spending some extra money, a lot more money, just because everything has to be lightweight and small and compact. I mean, stoves go for $60 and you're getting a little thing like this, $90, things like that. Yeah, and now who knows what it costs. So that's the deal. All right, guys. I'm going to let go. I'll see you on the next one. And salud means health. And one thing I'm going to do for the nurses at the hospital, we were talking about it on the way here. And I say, you know what? They treated you very well. Good attitude. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's, do you need anything? I'm very, very happy with this hospital. It's a small little hospital. I didn't even know it was there. I'm gonna order a cake. There's a lot of Filipinos there that they like the sweets. I'm gonna order a cake and I'm gonna take it to them, and they're gonna love that cake. I know what to give them. They're gonna love that cake because I am so grateful that they it's their job, yeah. But I've been in hospital where the nurses just don't give a shit about you. They just want to get the thing done and walk away and go to another room, and they want the end of the day to be done. They want to get to the end of the day so they can go home. These girls, this girl, they will come in and sit and chat with us, you know, and just make you comfortable, make you at ease, relax. You know, you're dealing with a heart patient. And very good attitude. Very good attitude. We started talking about food, and I told them I did lechon, and they go, "You do lechon?" Lechon is uh, roasted pig. You do it on the ground? He goes, "Yeah, I used to do that. I've done a few." And there was a lady next door. She was also Filipino, and she was saying, "Oh, can you make one for me?" And she thought I had a catering service. I said, "No, I don't. It's not a business. I do this when I do a family gathering, a party or something." Oh, and then I told her my recipe, and so I got her number, her husband's number, that they like lechon. I'm gonna give them the recipe, and they like to go fishing. I said, well, I'll take you guys fishing on the boat. So these people are really nice, you know, really down to earth kind of people. So I want to do something for them in a week or so when she can get dressed and go out there again and stuff. We're gonna make a cake for them and take it to them. They were pretty nice to us. Pretty nice. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.